Tropical downpours have led to severe flooding in the Dominican Republic, with Santo Domingo being particularly affected. Numerous houses have sustained damage due to the rising waters. As a result of the crisis, hundreds of people have been forced to evacuate. In city streets, residents are navigating through waist-deep water. A state of alarm has been declared across almost all regions of the Dominican Republic. There is a looming threat that other provinces may also come under the assault of these elements. The incessant heavy rains are triggering landslides and widespread floods. The Emergency Operations Center of the Dominican Republic has taken decisive action by issuing a red alert for 8 provinces and a yellow alert for 17 provinces. These alerts are in response to the heavy rainfall stemming from a tropical depression anticipated to persist across various parts of the Dominican Republic over the next 48 hours. A powerful 6.8 magnitude undersea earthquake rocked the Philippines. The quake occurred in the southern Mindanao region. Although initially logged as having a magnitude of 7.2, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology later downgraded the earthquake to 6.8 magnitude. Local news reported, there is currently no tsunami warning in effect. Footage shows the quake causing signs and antennas on the top of a 17-story building to shake. The building's employees were safely evacuated. Local media shared. The earthquake is also reported to have cracked and shut down the old Buayan Bridge, which joins General Santos and Sarangani. Meanwhile, radio announcer is quoted as telling the local radio station that the quake damaged walls and toppled computers from desks. Videos shared by a local news outlet appear to show people evacuating from a hospital and huddling on the floor of a shopping mall amid thunderous shakes in General Santos City in South Cotabato.
Run! Run! Get! Run, run, run! Run, run! Relax, relax!
The airport in General Santos City sustained minor damage, including hairline cracks along columns in the building. Falling debris from the mall in General Santos City crushed a woman to death, while 19 other people were treated for shock, city police captains said. Police earlier reported the death of a couple pinned under a collapsing concrete wall, where about 30 students were also treated for breathing difficulties. Another person was killed by a falling steel structure in the municipality of Glan in Sarangani province. In neighboring Davao Occidental province, an elderly man was struck dead by a large rock that rolled down a hill near his house, said police officer. The state seismology service said the quake was likely generated by the movement of the Earth's crust along the Cotabato Trench, a long, narrow depression on the seafloor that forms the boundary of one tectonic plate pushing against another. Quakes are a frequent occurrence in the Philippines, which sits along an arc of seismic and volcanic activity that stretches from Japan through Southeast Asia and across the Pacific Basin.
Hold the pring. Sabi oh, raw tsunami oh. Ayaw! Ayaw! Wara, kulba sa tubig. Promise guys. Ara na. Uy, dagan ka. Poor people.
Dubai, known for its sunny climate, found itself submerged in water after unprecedented heavy rains, the most intense in the last 30 years. The city's streets turned into water canals, causing chaos and transportation problems. Dubai Airport came to a standstill, with hundreds of flights delayed or canceled, leaving passengers stranded at the airport. Key transportation arteries were submerged, cars drowned, and the city was virtually paralyzed. Rescuers conducted helicopter evacuations and road services prepared for infrastructure restoration. Heavy rains accompanied by hail triggered flooding, becoming a natural disaster for the region. Airport passengers and local residents faced serious difficulties in movement and daily life. People resorted to unconventional means of transportation, including floating on doors. This unprecedented natural phenomenon claimed one life and inflicted significant damage to urban infrastructure. Experts describe these rains as the most intense since 1995, emphasizing the unusual weather conditions for Dubai. The tourism industry is under threat, with numerous events canceled and shopping centers closed. Some tourists found themselves trapped in hotels, and well-known attractions such as the Mega Mall and the Burj Khalifa skyscraper became inaccessible due to flooding. Residents and tourists are trying to adapt to the new realities, while city authorities prepare for recovery after the disaster that has altered the familiar appearance of sunny Dubai for an indefinite period. A senior American tourist lost their life following the sinking of a ferry transporting cruise ship passengers to the private Blue Lagoon Island in the Bahamas. Disturbing footage captures numerous passengers, clad in orange life vests, anxiously navigating the two-deck ferry that set off from Paradise Island in Nassau on Tuesday morning. The vessel tilts to one side, with the sea reaching the first set of windows along the waterline, and subsequently shifts to another angle, leaning steeply to the left.
I'm on the top floor of a ferry.
We were going to Blue Lagoon and the boat just sunk. I never thought I would see these lights. Oh my gosh.
In the video, passengers can be observed evacuating the ferry, swimming towards a nearby boat. A separate clip shows individuals screaming while life rings from the abandoned ferry float by. Reports from local media indicate the unfortunate demise of a 75-year-old American passenger during the incident. Although the precise circumstances and timing of the death remain undisclosed as local law enforcement continues its investigation. The tour operator has confirmed that 2 additional passengers were transported to a hospital for further medical attention.
Panicking. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about these people.
Residents residing in the Bicol region, particularly in the province of Albay on Luzon Island, are advised to be prepared for possible evacuation. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology has issued a warning indicating the likelihood of a protracted eruption at the summit that could extend over several months or escalate into an explosive eruption. In the event of an explosive eruption, the volcano may release lava in fountains, creating downhill streams, and could be accompanied by pyroclastic flows, leading to cascades of red-hot gravel, ash, and gases rushing down the slopes. The Mayan volcano, standing at approximately 2,500 meters, is a well-known attraction in the Philippines and is recognized as the most active volcano in the country. Intense rainfall and subsequent flooding in Santa Catarina have prompted dozens of municipalities to declare a state of emergency, resulting in the unfortunate loss of at least 2 lives. The state's civil defense has reported widespread and severe impacts across the region. Out of Santa Catarina's 185 municipalities, 136 are grappling with the consequences of heavy rain and flooding, with 89 officially declaring a state of emergency. The situation is poised to escalate further as the southern parts of Brazil brace for additional heavy rainfall in the upcoming days. The National Institute of Meteorology has issued a warning regarding an approaching cold front, anticipated to unleash substantial rainfall upon Santa Catarina and Rio Grande do Sul.
Ó, a luz lá.
The historic Vietnamese city of Hue, designated as a World Heritage Site and a popular tourist destination, faced severe flooding as heavy rains inundated the area, submerging thousands of homes. Video footage captured residents navigating the waterlogged streets by boat, with houses and cars partially submerged in the floodwaters. Since Monday, heavy rains have wreaked havoc in several provinces along the coast. In the central province, over 2,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes, and authorities reported 3 individuals missing. The impact of the flooding extended to the national highway connecting North and South Vietnam, with landslides blocking some sections. Scientists caution that the increasing intensity of extreme weather events worldwide is a consequence of climate change, emphasizing the urgent need for climate resilience measures. More than 130 people have died in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia as a result of heavy rains that have caused the most severe flooding in a century. The brunt of the sudden floods was borne by the residents of Somalia. In this country alone, the death toll from the natural disaster reached 50. The city of Beledweyne in the central part of the country found itself completely submerged. Approximately 250,000 people in this area alone were left homeless. In other regions, another 200,000 people were forced to abandon their homes. The federal government of Somalia has declared a state of emergency. In neighboring Kenya, the districts of Mandera and Wajir were the hardest hit. Hundreds of houses were demolished, more than 50 people died, and at least 30,000 were left homeless, according to the agency citing data from the Kenyan Red Cross Society. Emergency service workers fear that the death toll may rise, as many people are still listed as missing. Some areas of the country remain cut off and inaccessible after roads and bridges were washed away, leaving thousands of residents at the mercy of fate. In Ethiopia, the death toll from the floods has already reached 30 people. It is reported that among the victims were children who drowned while trying to escape the floodwaters. According to the forecast of the UN World Food Programme, this year alone, 4.3 million people, a quarter of Somalia's population, will face famine at a crisis level or worse due to floods following a record drought earlier this year. A formidable tempest, accompanied by a barrage of hail, swept through the northern expanses of Saudi Arabia, shrouding desert settlements in a frosty embrace. In the proximity of the bustling city of Jeddah, torrents surged forth as the icy deluge relinquished its grip, giving rise to authentic rivers in the arid landscape, carrying a fusion of rainwater. A torrential downpour, reminiscent of a hurricane, inundated the port city of Jeddah, forcing authorities to shutter the airport. The academic routine was disrupted as schools closed their doors, and the arduous task of restoring normalcy is still underway. As per the pronouncements of the Saudi National Meteorological Center, thunderstorms, escorted by gusty winds and precipitation in the form of hail, are slated to assail Al-Jaf, as well as the northern borders and Tabuk, subsequently extending their reach to the coastal fringes of the Medina region.